I've worked for P3 for about 10 years now, and I first met Gary when he was a client in Milton Keynes. He was a client of the link worker service in Milton Keynes about 2009, and he'd got in touch with us because a friend of his was working with P3, and his friend had kind of said, you know, you should talk to P3, they might be able to help you. So Gary kind of came in, but I think probably came in to see us thinking that we probably wouldn't be able to help him and it would probably be a waste of time.
I first got involved with P3 when I was street homeless and I had poor mental health. I was addicted to alcohol and drugs, any drugs really. I would just take anything to stay out of my mind. A friend, I think, gave me Jen's card and I made contact. I was helped to, to sort of go to ASTI appointments and to get into the Orbit supported living hostel that's in the local area, and that was kind of where my support ended with P3. The hostel gave me probably, it sounds bad, but at the age of sort of 36, 37, I was about to get maybe my first accommodation that was my own. I'd always lived with girlfriends or sofa surfed or thinking throughout, from year dot, I'd never had my own tenancy, ever. I went to my first AA meeting a couple of days later, and I won't say I didn't look back from there because there was lots that went on along the way. And but in the end, I got sober. I was a carpenter before I'd been in the hostel, and addiction had taken over my life. So my sponsor from AA had told me to, try and just get back to life. Living a normal life. I've been like, I want to work in one of these hostels. That's what I want to do. So a year later, I still felt the same. I'd just finished working on a big contract in Milton Keynes, and I decided that I weren't going to find another job. I was going to, try and find some voluntary work. So I went round all the places that I thought I might get voluntary work. I'd forgotten about P3, to be honest, at that point. And it was only that I was round a different friend's house who was actually working with P3 at the time, a friend of mine called Gary as well. And I found Jen's card, so I thought, well, I'll phone up. I think I spoke to Kate at the time, and then Jen got back in contact with me, and I arranged to come in and have a meeting with her, saying that I wanted to change what I was doing and do some voluntary work, and then hopefully see if this was going to be for me.
So we supported Gary very briefly because the link working that we did, we linked him in with the mental health service and in with the hostel. So the hostel kind of picked up his support needs from that point, and then didn't have any contact with Gary for 18 months, 2 years, until he got back in touch and said that he was sober and he'd not been in any trouble with the law, and he wanted to think about getting into support work, and could he have a conversation with us about doing some volunteering.
And I started volunteering. Started off just one day a week. I think it was actually one afternoon a week or one morning a week at first, and it gradually built up. To the point where I realised very quickly when I was in the office that I didn't have a lot of transferable skills. I liked working with the clients. I loved sitting around and doing all the bits of work that I was led to do. But I can remember sort of right, Gary, can you want to make some phone calls? Oh my God, my heart was going. And I realised very quickly that I was going to need some sort of computer training or something like that. So I started looking into college with Kate, who was kind of pushing me. She'd just come from working at the college, so she had some contacts there. And I got offered a place on the Access to Higher Education in social care.
And Gary volunteered with us for about 2 years in the end, which was an amazing commitment from him, and he added so much value to the work that we did with clients. Clients responded really well to him, and he just brought a different perspective. So there was loads of added value in Gary volunteering with us, and then throughout that time he kind of made a plan for his own future, enrolled in higher education, then went on to do his degree, and P3 has kind of been part of that. Gary's a good friend of P3, and we've remained in contact, and you know, we've had a relationship with Gary kind of throughout his journey to even now, where, you know, he's supporting us to spread the word of P3, I suppose, in the work that we do with clients, but also in the opportunities there are for volunteers.
When I started out on the college course, I just wanted some qualifications that would sort of like, you know, bolster what I was doing voluntary, that could probably get me some sort of support work job. So I did. I got accepted to Bedfordshire University, and I did a bachelor's in psychology and criminal behaviour. And you only get 2 tickets to your graduation. You have to have a special 2. One of them was obviously going to be my partner, and the other person, I wanted to be Jen, and we spoke about it sort of just off the cuff, I think, really. But like, at that dinner, that was where it was right. You're coming, and you're going to be one of my chosen 2. Doing masters in addiction psychology and counselling, so hopefully in 3 years I'll be, well, not hopefully, I will be in 3 years, I'll be a qualified addiction therapist. After that, I see myself doing more research to do my PhD. As I say, I want to be an expert. When I want to be the guy that knows the most in the room about that particular topic. When you recover from an addiction and you use, like I did, the 12-step recovery process, it kind of makes you look at your life and what you're doing and why you're doing it. And I found that this is probably more what I've learned over the last few years, is that I weren't happy on a building site. I never ever wanted to be the best carpenter in the world. I just wanted to go to work and earn some money, and the money that I was able to earn on building sites kind of helped me to sustain my addictions, really. You know, when you're earning sort of £1,200 a week, you can drop £600 a week in the pub and on cocaine, and it not affect your lifestyle that much. You know, obviously it affects your health and your mental health, but you know, that was the way I viewed everything. It was just get money, get that. Through sobriety, I learned that sort of like, you know, it was more about kind of putting back and giving back, and that kind of flicked a light with me, and I knew that I would, like, you know, the new me, the real me, as I like to call it, because the person that was taking the drugs and that had that personality weren't the real me. This is kind of the real me. Is a nice guy and can help people and can kind of motivate people, and that's what I saw myself doing. At 15, 16, 17, 18, up into my 20s, I liked being a criminal. I liked it. It was good fun. I kind of, you know, there was no pain in what I was doing until sort of like, you know, you get to probably after 25 and you're reaching 26, and you realise all of a sudden that, you know, at the time it feels like you're having a right laugh. You know, when the consequences don't bother you and you don't mind a bit of jail. You know, I had as many mates in jail as I had out of jail. You know, so where was the punishment? You know, there was no punishment. But that person was a strike. Like when I talk about my previous life, I feel like I'm talking about a different person now. You know, but at 16, I enjoyed what I was doing. You know, I'd have never, like, if someone said, yeah, you'll be a straight bob when you're in your 40s and you'll be trying to help people, I'd have laughed at them. I'd have said, no, I'll be like, I'd have said, no, I'll be dead. I'd have never thought I'd be 46. You know, I can remember saying I wouldn't make 21, I wouldn't make 25, I wouldn't make 30. You know, I lived my life at a breakneck speed. I've always been extreme in everything I've done, and as I think we spoke about earlier, my extremism carries on. You know, now I'm just extremist in a different way. I'm extreme about what I want to do and how I want to do it, and I won't stop until I'm an expert. As simple as that.